Figment of my imagination. This episode, you guys, has all kinds of ups and downs in it because Figment is my hero. Figment, as you see on my shirt and right here, is my hero. In fact, Figment is all through my house. I have cups and things in my garden and all kinds of Figment. So why would I have him everywhere? Well, the story goes back to the 1980s when Figment, the character in the Journey into Imagination at Epcot Center at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Epcot stood for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. And it was the bomb. And of course, living in Florida, we went. Now, back in the 80s, when we went to go see Figment, I was really depressed, but nobody knew it. Being gifted and twice exceptional, I was very good at playing and looking like I was doing great all the time. I was successful in school, making really good grades. I was racing sailboats. I was friendly. I did all kinds of things. But secretly inside, I didn't think I should be alive anymore. Now, I wasn't suicidal, but I didn't think I should be alive anymore. Like, what was the point? And nobody understood me anyway, and it was not pretty. And so inside, I'm in this theme park, having fun with people who I don't even know who I was with at the time. I believe it was with friends from school, but I can't remember that. But what I do remember is me thinking I'm plastic and what's inherently wrong with me. And maybe I shouldn't be on Earth anymore. And maybe this isn't right. And I didn't know what to do. And I was confused. I also previously had called the helpline that just became a thing. And they hung up on me after they said, "We can't help you," and hung up. So I had been getting messages for decades already that I couldn't be helped, that what I was experiencing wasn't okay, that there was something flawed about me, and the list goes on. So I was really miserable and destitute, but nobody knew it. Nobody knew it. And so I go on this ride with my friends at this theme park where they're all laughing and having fun and goofing around. And I wasn't. My face was flat. I kept saying I was having fun, but I was introverted and I was depressed. And I kept saying I was having fun, but I couldn't even connect with what that word meant then. So I get on this ride and we start going. And the song from Journey into Imagination is called One Little Spark. And then I meet this guy, Figment of my imagination. Now, Figment was singing the song going through the ride. In fact, I bought this Figment that day, that fateful day. I still have him. And the song goes something like this, that with one little spark, there's more than your eyes can see, there's more than your ears can hear, there's more than your nose can smell. And that one little spark of imagination can bring everything to life. I'm getting goosebumps now because it changed everything. Halfway through that ride, that one little spark from this little purple dragon gave me hope to live. Now, see, nobody knew it even then. I knew it and I felt it. And who would figure that this little dragon and this little kid's ride would make it so that I'm still alive today? It's really quite mind-blowing, actually, that people didn't know that anything was wrong or that I couldn't say it. And it's even more mind-blowing that a little song and a purple dragon inside of a theme park could give that one little spark of hope to a desperate young girl. So since that day, Figment's been with me, reminding me that there is always more than my eyes can see, more than my ears can hear. There's always more. And he reminds me, he sits on my desk, and he reminds me of it. So I have my purple Figment shirt, and I have Figment everywhere because he reminds me that there's more. So as we exited the ride part, there was like an area where you could use your imagination and conduct a symphony and do all these things that Disney does so well, and I found myself very self-conscious, but trying some of it a little bit and doing a little bit over here and doing a little bit over there, but not very much because I didn't want to be seen. Because what if they saw me playing or having fun, whoever they were, right? Like I still was so closed down that I was afraid to let myself have any outward expression of fun. And it was hard. So I walked out of that ride that day with that little spark of hope and that little bit of, well, maybe life is worth living. Maybe there is something of value in me. Just maybe. I wasn't convinced of it, but it gave me this idea that just maybe. And so I think about that day and I remember it with great emotion, because what if I hadn't gone on that ride? What if I didn't hear the song that way? What if, and I could ask all those questions. But what I realize now with my education and my experience in life is that little song could get through to me because there was no part of my ego, of my intellect, that could defend against it. I was on a ride at a theme park. Who would ever think that something profound would happen in a kid's ride on a theme park? But yet it happened. And it saved my life. Without a doubt, I'm certain of it. And so Figment is my hero. And so he is a purple dragon who flies, and he reminds us that there's more. There's always more, and that our imagination is the key. And I remembered over time that I had teachers that told me I had no imagination. Well, they didn't tell the truth, right? They didn't know, they couldn't see. And all of these things have happened. So now, currently, Figment remains on my desk. He remains like around me all the time, reminding me there's always more, reminding me that there's that one little spark that can change everything. And reminding me that with every person I work with, that all we need is that one little spark, their aha, and their life is changed forever. And so sometimes I can use that gift of understanding that if we can get in past the ego, that there can be real transformation and somebody's life can be fulfilled beyond their wildest dreams. So I bring Figment with me everywhere I go. In my heart, he's on my purse, he's everywhere, because he reminds me of it. He reminds me that life is worth living. There is always more. And being gifted with lots of overexcitabilities and an intuitive and an empath is sometimes a messy and tricky road. I didn't even have any of those words to describe my life back then. But it's true. It's true that with all my intuition and my ability to feel deeply, that deep depression was my reality. I'm grateful today for Figment and whoever wrote that catchy song, that my life has changed. And I'm grateful that Figment can represent that in my consciousness as I lead other people toward their vision. Brings tears to my eyes to think about the power of that one little spark, the power of that one kind of injection of light into the darkness that can change everything. So just remember that the figment in your imagination is something that is beautiful and amazing, and it can save you and anyone from angst, depression, or anxiety. I am forever grateful to whoever wrote that song, to Figment, and to my God and Creator for bringing that to me in a way that answered a prayer that I didn't even know I had, because I'm alive today to be a beneficial presence on planet Earth. So until the next episode, you go out there and you go be a beneficial presence. You let your imagination sing, because remember that one little spark changes everything. Till the next episode, be well.